but I am going to figure out how to open YouTube on my phone. Good morning, Elizabeth. Okay, I can see Elizabeth's comment. So I think if you're on Zoom, welcome. If you go to Q&A, you can chat in the Q&A chat. So it's just a different place and we're figuring it out. See how everything figures itself out? So now I can see your chats. Yay! It makes me feel like I'm not alone here anymore. This is beautiful. Samantha, I can see you. Amy, I can see you. Carrie, I can see you. Sarah, Elizabeth, thank you guys. Also, if you are on the YouTube, please engage with us over there too. And we will open the YouTube. Oh, someone is saying the YouTube is not working. So anyways, it's all working out. Don't worry, everything is recorded. The content will always be available for all of us. Anyways, this is just such a example of how, oh, I think my mic just disconnected. Oh no, we're good. This is such an example about how as you grow, as you develop, as you expand, and as you grow in your awareness, and as you start to call in more for yourself and your impact, you want your impact to be bigger. It really involves having to adjust your 3D physical world to be able to be available and to be ready for the receivership of what it is that you want. So anyways, I can see comments now. Yes, Maria, I can see your comment. Heather, I can see your comment. So this is good. So if you just go over to Q&A and you chat in the Q&A box, I can see it. Okay, not in the other chat, but in the Q&A box. And the YouTube seems to be working. Okay, it's all coming together. Corinne, so good to see you. Is that Darja? Darja? I love that. Beautiful name. Okay, only host and panelists can see the chat. Can you guys not see the Q&A channel either? Oh, wow. Okay, we're sorting it out. Oh my gosh. I also had to move because the sun is so beautiful and it is so bright and hot that I was literally like squinting my eyes so tiny that I couldn't even see anything. So I've shifted over here and we're gonna have a different view. Anyways, it's all about the pivot. It's all about really, really, really staying true to knowing what you're supposed to be doing and just doing it anyway. So what worked is that we have more people on Zoom today, which is really, really great. So yesterday was a phenomenal day, and those 4 secrets, I actually asked the team, can you send those back to me, please? Because I teach through spirit and through intuition, and I teach through just allowing things to come through me. And so I didn't have those 4 things prepared for you yesterday. Those 4 things just came to me in the moment. Some of the ideas and stuff I had absolutely thought of beforehand, but the way in which I said them and in the order in which I said them just came through in that moment. So I asked the team to send it to me. And what was so interesting when I read those 4 things was like, holy wow, those things are gold, absolute gold. And it's actually so interesting how the information will come through in such a pivotal way, in such a pivotal moment. And I look at it and I go, how have I not taught those 4 things in that way before? And it's just because I wasn't at that level of awareness yet, but now I am, which is so interesting. So it's beautiful, but I would love for you in the comments, in the chat, if you can, if you're on YouTube or if you are on the Zoom, if you can please let me know, or take notes for yourself if you're watching on the replay, what was one of your favorite of the 4 secrets? Which one resonated with you most? So reminder, or if you weren't on, the first secret was life is meant to be happy. Something that we do, it is a choice, it is a decision. Number 2, you will not become what you are not conscious of being first. Secret number 2. Secret number 3, you create with God because you are of God. Many of you sent me messages after yesterday about that one. You really, really felt very strongly about that secret. And then the 4th one, you can either create life or you can react to it. That is very powerful. So September 2019 is when I started creating life and no longer reacting to the life that I had. So it's a very, very pivotal shift for you to be able to do that. And it was very, very important. So I hope that those four things really resonated with you. Secret number 2 and 3. Yes, I love number 4. Number 3 was the biggest reaction. Good. Larissa McCormack, good to see you. I want to also just shout out Melissa, and I hope that I say your last name wrong. Signa. We worked together in oh my gosh. What year would we have worked together, Melissa? At RBC Insurance. And I will never forget, I went to a dinner at your house and your parents cooked us the most beautiful meal. And we ate giant garlic cloves, and we did karaoke and we sang on the mic. See how like some memories just stick. That was probably in 2004, 2003. So the fact that you're here right now, I think is so beautiful. And it is divine timing. So welcome. And you sent me a message yesterday, and I know you're having an awakening. And I love coming alongside people as they start to awaken and start to remember who and what they really are. And so I'm grateful. I love when I see people come to my events from my past. It's just such a beautiful, beautiful thing. You said life is meant to be experienced to its fullest. That is what I'm looking to manifest. I'm just not quite sure what that looks like right now. Ooh, Allison, we're going to help you with that. Oh my gosh. That question. So life is meant to be experienced to its fullest. What that means for you is what you will create. What that means for you is what you will create and what we will help you to create. But creation is intentional. Creation is specific. Creation is clear and crisp and concise. So if you think about when you go to a movie theater and you sit down and they project the movie from the player onto the screen, that is what manifestation is. It is literally projecting from your consciousness, which is the player, onto the screen, which is the life that you observe. So what that means is that you have to know what you're putting into the projector and what's going to project. So if you don't know, if you aren't clear, if you aren't crisp, if you aren't concise, can you imagine constantly changing the movie that you're putting in? 1 minute it's this movie, then it's this movie, then it's this movie. The screen would just be flipping back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And you wouldn't be able to see what you're watching. You wouldn't be able to experience the fullest of the movie that is your life because it's flipping back and forth, back and forth. So clarity is so incredibly important. Can you explain secret number 2 again? What I will do is I'm going to be talking about one of the other secrets today coincides with that one. So what I'll do is as I start to discuss the secret that coincides with that, which is going to be secret number, I'm going to say probably 6. I'll go back and I'll talk about secret number 2 and how they're intermingled, and I'll re-explain. Okay. This is really good. Can other people affect our manifestations? Hang on to your questions, please, because the questions that you have, like that one, can other people affect our manifestations? I will answer that question tomorrow. So please send it to whichever member of my team that you are connected to, and make sure they hold on to that question. And then tomorrow, Saturday on Q&A, I will answer it with the movie, the perfect example. Let me give you another little example. Daria as well with the movie. I hope I'm saying your name right. Geez, I love that name. So life is like a puzzle. Okay. So let's say you create a vision board of what it is that you desire. And you know that the puzzle is of your vision board, let's say. A really cool idea just came through there. Anyways, so when you start a puzzle, you have a picture on the box, right? So let's say it's a puzzle of a dog. It's a dog puzzle. And so we see what the puzzle looks like. We can put the cover of the box there and we start the puzzle. So we have the end picture of what that puzzle is in our minds when we start working on the puzzle. And then as we're putting the puzzle pieces together, we go back and we look at that picture of the dog. Okay, where's its feet and where's its head and da da da. We usually start with the outside and then we fill it all in. Some people don't do that, but that's how I was taught to do puzzles, is to start from the outside. So what I love so much then is all we have to do is just remembering what the picture of the dog looks like and build the puzzle. We don't know which order the puzzle is going to be put together. We don't know if we're going to put its feet in first or its head in first, or if we're going to start over here and work over here. But what we do know is that all of the puzzle pieces will eventually come together and they will eventually create the image from the box onto the puzzle. We know that. We don't question as we're putting the puzzle together. We're not like, oh no, this looks like a cat. Oh no, I don't think it's a dog. Oh no, I think I'm doing it wrong, etc. We just keep going with patience. And we eventually put the puzzle pieces together to create that picture that is the dog. So that's exactly what manifestation is. That's the power of intentionality. It's the power of creation. But we have to know what the picture is. That's the cover of the box. And then as we are putting the puzzle pieces together to create the picture that's on the front of the box, we have faith that it's going to turn out exactly as the picture is that we created. So we're not going to second guess it. We're not going to quit halfway through. We're not going to give up. We're not going to change the picture. We are going to stay focused and we are going to follow through knowing the end result. I know my end result. I know what my life is going to look like next because I'm creating it in my mind. Is Amanda Garrett on? She is. Amanda Garrett, I'm going to shout you out, beautiful. So Amanda has taken programs with me. She has awoken. She is a beautiful, beautiful dress designer, and she is designing my custom gala gown for New York City in, oh my gosh, girl, like 2 weeks. I didn't realize it was coming up so quick. And so this is a manifestation of hers, which I didn't know that she wanted to do a custom gown for me. So this is working out so beautifully because I'm getting a beautiful custom gown. And so what's so interesting though, and I use this example all the time, is that when she's creating a dress, she starts with an image in her mind. There's a picture, there's something that she sees. And then what does she do? She sketches it out. So she came to my house, she showed me a brilliant sketch of what was in my head and in her head, a combination of both of the images that were in our minds. And then we sketched it out onto a piece of paper. And now she's putting the puzzle pieces together and she's building the dress. And I'm over here just having absolute faith that the dress is going to come out stunningly and beautiful. And I visualize myself in it and what it looks like. Actually, this top kind of reminds me of it a little bit. You can't really see, but it's got this beautiful bodice. But anyways, so another way that you can look at this. So there's the movie projecting on the screen. There's a puzzle. There is an architect or a dressmaker that starts with the image in the mind and then brings it into the physical. So many different ways that you can look at this, but it always comes down to the fact that you create the image, you decide upon the image, and then you put it all together in the creation of it. So some of you might actually find that what you've done over time is you've changed the image too many times. You're changing the movie in the projector. Or it might be that you're giving up on your puzzle halfway through the creation or the completion of it. Or it might be that you're drawing the dress onto the piece of paper, but you're never actually taking the steps to put the dress together. Go buy the fabric, go buy the needles or the sewing machine, and actually put it together. And so you must do all of those things in order for it to happen. You must create the end result in your mind, but you must take action towards putting the dress together. And it seems simple now that I say it this way, and it always has been simple, but we tend to make it harder than it has to be. So I want to remind you as I'm going through this, and wow, I don't even have like the time on here either. Normally I can see the time on my computer, but it's hidden. But anyways, all good. Good thing that I'm good with the pivot. I also say I'm really good with the in-between. So that would be a good belief for you to have as well. What I wanted to remind you of, though, is I was chatting with the team before we came on here, and they let me know just how many of you have booked in to have conversations with them. And I was actually shocked at the number of people that are choosing to speak to my team. And I just want to honor you. I want to honor you for your bravery, for being courageous. I'm going to talk about that a lot today. I want to honor you for making the decision to choose you. It's not always comfortable. It's actually a lot easier to just stay quiet. It's a lot easier to just not say anything, to be in the background. That used to be me. I used to sit in the classroom and I used to just be quiet and not say anything. And I used to never raise my hand. I didn't want to be seen. I didn't want to talk to anybody. And what I have realized is that was because I saw myself a certain way, and that wasn't the truth. The moment that I decided to get out of the back of the classroom and sit at the front of the class, the day that I decided to raise my hand, decided to ask the questions, decided to go for it, is the time that I started to make this impact that I'm making now. And I had to make it less about me and what people think of me, and more about how I can help others. So make it less about what people think of you and more about how you can help others. And that will really just change everything for you. So it's brilliant. But the thing I wanted to say, though, is my team is here to support you. I can't get them to raise their hands because of the situation we have here. But my team are very powerful. They've all been mentored and personally trained by me. They are all getting uncomfortable for the sake of others every single day. And they're here to support you through whatever questions you might have, finding the workbook, finding the Zoom links. But also, if you're somebody that is ready to make a significant change in your life, they can help support you through that in a beautiful way. And what you will know with my team is that my team is here to come alongside you and guide you and hold space. My team does it with love. They do it with service. They do it with joy, and they do it because they have a calling within themselves to help and support others. And so you will know, and this is what I hear all the time about my team, is that my team is not here to sell you on something. They're here to help open you up to realize the true potential that's within you. And they're so good at it. So please have your conversation with them before they get all booked up. They are here to support you. And if you do not know who that is, you haven't found an email, you haven't seen a text message, you don't know who that is, just in YouTube or in the Zoom chat here, please just say, who is my manifestation mentor? Who's my mentor? And we will connect you. You can also email info@diamondacademy.ca, and we will set you up with someone as well through that way. So don't worry, there's lots of ways to get a hold. And like last case scenario, just send me a DM. I have somebody helping me in there lately. I've needed a little bit of support in there, but you're still getting responses from me. But okay, see, Rhonda's looking for her mentor. Beautiful. So we will get you set up, Rhonda. Don't worry, the team will support you. Okay, let's start chatting a little bit about these remaining 3 secrets. So 7 secrets came through, and I didn't know what order I was going to say them in, and I didn't know in what way I was going to say it. And so the language is just coming out so perfectly. But the 7 secrets, I'm going to actually talk about the final 3 today because I want to leave tomorrow open for questions. There's so many beautiful questions coming through and I want to answer them. So tomorrow we're going to do Q&A, and tomorrow we are also going to talk about Diamond Academy and enrollment, what we have open and all that stuff. So hang on to those questions for then. But the 4 secrets that came through yesterday were really beautiful and really powerful. And the way in which I'm looking at this is like, from what I know now, from the experience that I've had to date in my life, from the place of like, who am I now? Who was I before? And what led me to the realization of becoming this version that lives a life of time and financial freedom, this version who loves herself, who didn't love herself before, this version who genuinely and authentically, I really am so confident, like so confident, and I was not before. So what was it that changed my life so much? And these are the 7 things that came through. Like if I could tell you high level 7 things that changed it all for me, these would be the 7 things, right? My chat is disabled. How can I turn it back on to participate? Clarissa, it is on. Where you're asking right now is perfect. So just chat in there. and I can see you. It's just the other chat box is disabled for now. Alternatively, you could go onto YouTube too, and you can chat in the chat box there. But I can see you, Clarissa. Sylvia, we will get you set up as well. I think the team can see all these questions, so we will get you set up. So as I reflect back on those first 4 things, I think they are absolutely brilliant. And if you live your life from today going forward, embodying those 4 things, you know, the belief that life is meant to be happy, the belief that I have to be conscious of being something first before I will actually be it in the world, that I create with God because I'm of God, and that I'm either creating or reacting to life, and I have a choice in that matter, your life will be forever changed. But there is another secret that has been absolutely life-changing for me. And last year, I'm not wearing it today, actually. I normally am, but I had to take it off yesterday. I last year made a decision that I wanted 2023 to be the year of love. And so I choose a word every year. 2022 was health. And then I had my surgery and, you know, got into exercise and eating nutritiously, hired a health coach, released over 100 pounds now. That was 2022. 2023, I chose the word love. And the reason that I chose the word love was because I was feeling like I wanted a deeper, more profound experience of love in my life, whether that's romantic love, platonic love, friendship, whether that's love between me and my family, love between me and myself. I wanted to experience a higher level of love, right? And so what's really, really beautiful with that then is I started to experience that in my life around me as I chose that word. And so, hold on a second. I'm starting to lose my voice. I was talking all day yesterday after our live event, and then I'm talking all day again today. So this afternoon, maybe it's going to be time for me to be a little bit silent. But anyways, so the word love, it was something that truly came through me as this is your focus for the year. So I was scrolling through Facebook, and of course Facebook is like, oh, Kathleen, here's a beautiful love necklace. And so I bought it and got it shipped to my house, and I started wearing this beautiful love necklace. And then I was sitting there one day and I looked at somebody's story, and they posted a link that they're reading A Return to Love by Marianne Williamson. If you haven't read that book, highly suggest that book for you. Marianne Williamson, A Return to Love. So of course, I start reading that book, started to change my perspective almost immediately, started to change the way in which I experience love, the way in which I see love, and the way in which love started to show up for me in my life as I started to intentionally focus on the word and the feeling and the experience of love in my life. And so what was really, really interesting, and this is where this secret number 5 comes through, is that love is all there is. That is a belief that I now hold, that love is all there is. And so when I started to believe that, I started to see that love is the only thing that is real, and that fear is an illusion. Oh yeah, I even got a love tattoo on my finger. I think you guys can read it better this way. I added a love tattoo to my finger when I was in Santa Monica with one of my one-on-one coaching clients, Shannon, and she got a beautiful faith tattoo, and I got this one on my finger, plus like another couple other ones. But anyways, so love is all there is. And so what that means, which is very powerful and very, very important, is that you are either in 2 states. You are either in one state, which is the state of love, or you are in another state, which is a state of fear. And you cannot be in both states at one time. So the law of polarity, or the law of opposites, says that there is always 2 poles to every experience, right? There's a high, there's a low, there's an up, there's a down, there's an in, there's an out. There's a hot, there's a cold. Sun rises, the sun sets. So what I'm talking about here is I'm talking about the polarity and the opposites between being in a state of love and being in a state of fear. And when we are in a state of fear, it does not feel good. When we are in a state of love, it feels right. It feels good. It feels light. It feels easy. It feels like flow. So pay attention to yourself and where you're at and what you're feeling and when you're feeling it. Right? So I notice for myself when I'm in a state of fear, it doesn't feel right. It sometimes feels like panic. It feels like worry. It feels like doubt. It feels like resistance. It feels like what if in the negative. It feels like out of control. It feels like there's nothing you can do about it. You're being taken for a ride. So I didn't know this, but I was living in fear. I was living in a state of fear for most of my life. Fear that people wouldn't like me. Fear that I wasn't pretty enough, that I didn't have a skinny enough body. Fear that I wasn't going to be successful, that I wasn't going to have enough money. Fear that I wasn't going to get that promotion. Fear that maybe my body wasn't going to last me a long time. Fear that people aren't going to like me, that relationships in my life are going to go away, that I'm going to lose people. So being in a state of fear and being in a state of worry is a learned behavior and is not the real you. There's a chapter in Marianne Williamson, A Return to Love, and where she says, love is God. So love is God, love is source, love is creator, love is spirit, love is your soul, soul's perspective. You might say love is the universe, whatever that is. But what we are saying here, that love is all there is that is truth. So the fear-based thinking, the illusion, the worry, the doubt, the panic, the nervousness, that being afraid is not real. You make it real by believing it. You make it real by acting in it. You make it real by continuing to allow yourself to experience the fear, right? So I used to teach, and I would say 2 years ago, maybe, I would say that the polar opposite of fear would have been faith. But I actually believe that love is an even higher experience because love is your true nature. It is our true nature to love. How many times do you meet somebody and you literally just met them? You don't even know them and you're like, oh my God, I just love you. What you're actually saying is when I am with you, when I am around you, when I think about you, I experience the feeling and emotion of love. I feel love within my heart space. When I first started mentoring with Neil, I had a beautiful phone conversation with him the first time. And I said, Neil, when I read your book, Happier Than God, I just want to cry. I just want to cry when I read that. I want to cry tears of joy. It just makes me feel so good. And I just want to keep reading your book because of the way it makes me feel. And he said, Kathleen, what is happening is that truth is operating in you. And when truth operates in you, it feels like love. It feels like joy. It feels like bliss. It feels like peace. It feels like happiness. And so that becomes such a beautiful, beautiful way of knowing if you are in a state of joy, if you are in a state of love, if you are in a state of bliss, that truth is operating in you. So if you are listening to the words that are coming out of my mouth yesterday and today, and you are like, girl, I feel it. This is truth. I believe this. This feels right. This feels good. This feels whole. This feels powerful. And you feel happy and you feel lit up and you feel excited and you feel inspired. It's because truth is operating in you. Your soul is saying yes because it is remembering. The regular chat is working now. Fabulous. Look at that. Look at that. It's working. Suddenly. Did somebody do something? Okay, but I still can't see everybody, can I? No, there's no gallery view yet. But oh man, we got the chat box back. Get into that chat. Say hello, everybody. Yeah, I love remembering. That's what's so beautiful about this. And in The Best of Yourself, my book, is that it's not about trying to become something that you aren't. It's about remembering what you've always been. It's about remembering, right? And that's so beautiful because remembering is easy. It's like, oh yeah, I just forgot. But now I remember. Hello, everybody. Oh my gosh, everybody's here in the chat. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh my gosh. We also have Nicole on here, and she's going to be, I'm going to come up and interview her very, very soon. I'm going to interview her in about 20 minutes. So you gotta stick around for that one. It's going to be beautiful. So if love there is all there is, and fear then is the opposite of that, then the way out of fear is through love. So a lot of times if I get into a situation where I notice myself feeling fear in some capacity. So I'm feeling maybe worried something's not going to work out the way that I want it to, or maybe I am fearful about this new thing that I'm launching and if it'll go the way that I want it to launch. Now, I control myself so much that I really don't. Everything I launch, I just know is going to be successful because I've built that belief. But let's say, if I do notice a worry, a fear, a doubt, I ask myself, how can I move to love? How can I move into love instead? And that is the way out of that experience of fear in this moment, right? And so oftentimes too, if I notice something in my life that I don't like, an experience that it's unwanted, let's say it's an unwanted experience in my life, I will ask myself, okay, so what would I love instead? See how I've just moved to love? And I've been asking this question of people, what would I love? What would you love? I've been asking this question, and Mandy even was talking about getting a bracelet, or did, I can't remember. What would I love? Or what would you love? And that's a beautiful question that I ask people all the time when they say, my business isn't growing the way that I'd like it to grow. I will say, okay, well, what would you love? If somebody says, I'm really unhappy with the way that the relationship is with my spouse, I would say, okay, so what would you love it to look like? All I'm doing is moving you out of the fear and into the love. And I didn't even realize that that's what that question was doing until I started to study love even more on a greater place. And so now the question, what would you love, has even more significant meaning. Significant meaning. I've only developed anxiety since I started menopause. I would love to feel me again. I wouldn't accept the belief that you have developed anxiety. You're accepting a belief that something has developed within you. What if it's not anxiety? What if it's something else? What if it's a knowingness? What if it's an excitement for more? What if it's a itch for you to do something different? What if it is your body signaling that it's time for you to wake up and to grow and to expand? So Diana, I love that you're saying this right now, but I really don't want you to accept the belief that you now have anxiety. I think you can, we can call it whatever we want. We can change the experience at any moment. But please talk to your manifestation mentor, because this does not have to be your reality. One of the things that we cure the most here, the Millionaire Program is a program of healing, absolutely. And one of the things that we cure the most is anxiety, depression, sleeplessness. I mean, I could just go on. But you're in the right place, Diana. So the anxiety led you to seek something outside of you, which led us to be here for you in this moment to be able to support you. So I love that so much. Menopause kicked my ass. Oh, that's so good. Anxiety in menopause for me has been a spiritual sensitivity. Ooh, Kathy, spiritual sensitivity, a very positive aspect of this change. See how we can flip it? Yeah, I remember how we can flip that. So beautiful. So anyways, but there's so many things. We've had people cure their autoimmune diseases through this material. We have had people completely reinvent themselves and start new businesses. And we've had people become multimillionaires in less than 60 days. So things just, magic happens here and in this energy. And please allow yourself to be open, because we just keep seeing it over and over again. And I want you all to experience this. That's why we're here. That's why we do this. So love is all there is. Move from a place of fear into a place of love. Now, I want you to just ask the question and just to consider, what is love? What is love? Think about this for a minute, because when we actually dissect and we look at what love is, and you can decide what that is. We're not trying to find the truth of what love is. We're trying to find our truth of what love is. So for me, I know that love and the experience of love then is a feeling. And so love is something that I experience. It is something that is within me. It comes from me. It doesn't come from outside of me. It comes from me. And it is something that I can tap into at any moment, in any time, just like that. Just like that. So it can also be a state of being. So I'm going to be love right now. And so to be love right now in this moment, how would I think? How would I feel? How would I behave? Right? So for me then, love is a choice. It's something to have. There's this really strange thing that we do. We give it to people. I love you. I don't love you anymore. I think I'm falling in love with you. I think I love you. There's this thing where some of us tell everybody we love them all over the place, constantly. We're just expressing our love for people all over. But then there's some of us that don't tell anybody we love them ever. It's uncomfortable for us to do so. I have always been somebody that has told my friends and family that I love them. Maybe not even friends, family and, my spouse at the time, that, I love you. And I would say it every night before bed or when we get off the phone. Okay, love you, bye. But it got to a point where I started to really question it. Like, what is it that I'm saying love for? Am I saying it to get it back? Am I saying it because I want you to know and I want you to feel a certain way? Am I saying it for you? Am I saying it for me? What does it really mean? And what I realized is that when we are saying that to someone, I love you, what we're saying is, when I'm with you, when I'm around you, when I think of you, I experience the emotion of love. You contribute to my life positively. You allow me to tap into the love that is within me. And I think that's a really beautiful thing. And I think it's similar to gratefulness. So is there ever a downside to telling someone you're grateful for them? Is there ever a downside? I'm shifting because the sun's moving. Is there ever a downside to telling somebody that you're grateful for them? Could it go wrong? Could it be negative? No. But we don't say we're grateful for people enough. So if there's no downside, if it's only going to help you and it's only going to help them, why would we not do it? Right? So why would we not tell people every single day, I'm so grateful for you. I'm so thankful for you. Because it's not a habit for us. So I started getting into this gratefulness. I started to really move in that direction. But now that I've started really studying love, and I've really started studying what love means to me and what that feeling is, and I started to realize that the more I started to love myself, the more I started to love others. Right? I started to really move into this place where, like, the more I fell in love with me, the more I experienced the feeling of love within myself, the more I started to love other people in an even bigger way. Somebody said to me a couple of months ago, they said, wow, you really love hard. And I said, no, I love easy. I love easy, and I love strong, and I love powerfully, and I love intensely, but it's not hard. So I see what they were saying with the you love hard and what they really meant, but I love easy. And so what I've decided to do and where I've shifted over, and you might notice it if you do send me messages or you do send me DMs, is that I now tell people that I love them regardless of who they are, where they're coming from, what role they play in my life, what they're doing for me. And now I tell people that I love them. Friends, family, team members, people in my DMs. If you send me a message and you tell me that you love me, I will tell you that I love you back. And the reason that I do that is because by loving other humans around me, which are just souls all around me, which are the same as me, I am expressing the love that I have for me. I am expressing that love that I have for you, understanding that we are all love. And so the more love I give, the more love I experience. And so it is a beautiful circle of just absolute love. Absolute love. And what's really good too is that when you develop this sense of love within yourself, this sense of self-love, of unconditional love, love for the world, love for experience, love for everything that you see, love for others, the fear and the worry and the doubt just dissipates. It just goes away. It just, they say faith can move mountains, and I would say that love moves mountains. Because when you move into a state of love and you express it and you feel it and you allow yourself to just go there, anything that was stressing you out, any anxiety, any worry, any feeling that was there just dissipates, because you've allowed that feeling of love within your heart to grow bigger and bigger and bigger, and it just moves anything out that doesn't match it. So I'm not afraid to tell people that I love them anymore. The other thing is that I will love people no matter how they are, no matter what they do, no matter if they meet my needs or my expectations, that I am going to continue to have love for them and to experience that emotion of love towards them. And there has actually been situations in the past little while where I have had the beautiful opportunity to love someone regardless of the behavior with which that they are presenting. So no matter if you do XYZ, I will love you anyway. Doesn't mean I'm still going to have you in my life. It doesn't mean you're going to have that access to me that maybe you had before, but it means that I'm still going to love you. So let's just take a moment here. Put your hand over your heart, please. If you are on YouTube stream, you can do this. Put your hand over your heart. If you are on Zoom, put your hand over your heart. You can close your eyes. You can keep them open. It doesn't matter. If you're watching the replay, please do this. And I want you to picture in front of you someone that you have immense, immense love for. Could be a best friend, it could be a spouse, it could be a child, it could be yourself looking in the mirror. And I have my keys open. You can leave your eyes open, no problem. You can still do this. You still visualize with your eyes open. And I want you to look them in the eye, and I want you to say to them, I love you. I love you. And I want you to allow that feeling of love in your heart to just open. Feel the emotion of love just growing and growing in your heart. And it's coming out of that heart space and it's expanding further and further and further. I love you. I love you. I love you. And let them feel how much love you have for them. Let them feel it. Let that emotion come out of you and transmute and perpetuate out into them so they can feel it. I love so much it makes me cry. And it's a good cry, not a bad cry. It's a beautiful cry. So let that feeling just grow and grow and grow. And you will notice as that love feeling grows, your shoulders might lighten, your third eye might clear, your throat might get better. But notice that tension starts to dissipate. Tension starts to go away. Fear, worry, doubt, it starts to move because you've gone into love and out of fear. So when we get really upset with people and we get mad at people and we think that they've wronged us. Are we in a state of love? Mm-mm. We've gone right into fear. We've gone right into fear that we're not good enough, that we are not worthy, that we are not love ourselves, and it takes us away from it. Why did I just burst into tears speaking to my son? Oh my gosh, you guys. Yes. Because you tapped into the feeling of love and you allowed yourself to just feel it fully, unconditionally, without expectation. You don't need to hear it back. You don't need them to love you back. You love them. It's so beautiful. Regardless of who they are, you're going to love them unconditionally. And if you stay in that feeling of love, you can observe their behavior from a different vantage point, from a different perspective and perception. So to observe someone's behavior from fear, it sends you in a spiral of fight or flight. I can never talk to you again. You wronged me. You're out of my life. We hold grudges. We get resentful. But instead, remain in a loving perspective. Remain in a loving perspective. Doesn't mean that you agree with or condone somebody's behavior or action, but you can start to see how someone could behave in that way if they themselves are in a state of fear. Remember that we are one with God and love is God. So every single time that you're in a state of love, you are connected to your oneness. So even a simple closing of your eyes, picturing somebody you love in front of you and sending that love to them, you've connected to your oneness. You felt your oneness. You felt God to and through you through the experience of love. And I truly believe that there is no better way to get through this life than to experience it in a state of love far greater than any state of fear that could exist within you. So many people come into my energy, and I would say this is probably the thing that I hear the most is, Kathleen, I would love to come and study with you. I would love to take your courses. I would love to be a part of your community. I would love to learn and grow. I would love to expand and step into my greatness. I would love to quantum leap my life. So notice all the love words. But I'm afraid of not making my money back. I'm afraid of investing in myself. I'm afraid it's not going to work again. I'm afraid that I'm going to be judged. I'm afraid of XYZ, XYZ, XYZ. So we've started in love and then we went into fear. All we have to do is stay in love. Love creates, fear disintegrates immediately. So as soon as you start to accept that fear as truth, you've moved yourself into disintegration and you have taken steps away from quantum leaping, collapsing time, growth, ascension, awareness. The love will always lead you towards where you desire to go. Love will always lead you towards creation, but not fear. It will not. Yeah. Oh my God, my hands are tingling from this practice. I'm a Reiki master. Ooh, Diana, we got you all going. I love it. Yeah. I'm going through a divorce and I told him I forgive him and care for him and love him as a human, but I no longer need to stay in the toxic situation. It's taken me years to be in the state of mind to leave with knowing we have outgrown this. Samantha, I love this. I think that's really beautiful, but I still feel within that sentence that there's a lot of judgment. And so one of the things with moving into a state of love requires us to move out of judgment. So many people are like, well, I don't judge people. Yes, you do. All day, every day. And you know how we know it? Because we were taught to do it and it is our natural state. And we now judge upon judge upon judge all the time. But you just don't realize that you're doing it. So judgment is any time that you are deciding whether something is good or bad. Everything just is. It just is. Nothing is good or bad. Every circumstance of our life, it just is. We decide if it's good or bad, which then creates the experience. If something isn't good or bad, you can't experience it. So we can't experience the light without first experiencing the dark. The dark tells us what the light is. If it was light all the time, 24/7, we never ever had darkness, we wouldn't even know what to call it. It wouldn't be a thing. It wouldn't be an experience. It would just be what it is. It would just be light. And we wouldn't even call it light. So what we want to do then is we want to start to remove judgment from experiences and move to observation instead. This is how you move to love. So the person that wronged you, you're wronging them right back by telling them that they're wrong. You're judging. You're moving into judgment. What did Michael Beckwith say when I went to go? I went to Agape. Ooh, I should go on Sunday. I went to Agape when I was here last time, down in Beverly Hills. And Michael Beckwith said something that was so beautiful. He said, when we judge something, we lower our vibration to the thing being judged. Right? So the person that's wronged you, they've done something wrong. They've mistreated you. They've disrespected you. They said a nasty thing. They did a physical nasty thing. You know, not the way that we would behave, right? Not the way we would behave. And not the way we would like to be treated, so to speak. But what we do though is we judge it. And then we start to say that they're wrong and they're bad and they did this and they did that and they shouldn't have, et cetera, et cetera. But when we can move out of the judgment and just move to observation instead, it immediately puts us back into a state of love. So the observation would be that this person is saying things that aren't nice. This person is behaving in a way that's unkind, right? But when we say that it's a toxic situation, that I was abused or disrespected, or they've committed some sort of wrong towards me, it's putting me into victimhood. It's lowering me to the vibration of the thing being judged. And it's actually lowering my awareness down to theirs. So what I want to do is I want to elevate and raise myself up and move back into love by removing the judgment and simply observing. And then we can move into understanding. So this is going to be a little bit of a higher level of awareness and understanding. And if it doesn't make sense to you right now, it's okay. It will make sense to you one day. But Neil said something really profound to me. He said, understanding replaces forgiveness in the mind of the master. Understanding replaces forgiveness in the mind of the master. So what is the mind of the master? The mind of the master is the spiritual master. So it is the person that understands that they are not a physical body, that they are not a human, that they are a spiritual entity having a human experience. So when you become a spiritual master and you understand that, you no longer need to forgive. God does not forgive. Why does God not forgive? How could that be? There's this common thing that we hear that God, forgives our sins or whatever. No, I don't believe it. God is not judging. God is love. God does not judge and God is love. So God does not forgive. There's no need to forgive if you aren't judging. So to say you forgive someone says that they have done something wrong that requires forgiveness. You're in a state of judgment. Instead, move to understanding, right? So to understand how someone would behave in such a way, understanding how this person has forgotten who they are, understanding that this person now doesn't realize that they are made of God, that they are one with God. They've forgotten. Sarah, the fifth secret is God is, love is all there is. God is love. So really, really beautiful, right? So what that means then is that we can move up into understanding. We can move into observation and we can move into love, and it will change your entire experience. We don't have to condone the behavior. We don't have to say that it's right. We don't have to forgive, but we can understand. And this is all about freeing yourself from the negative impact of other people's behaviors. This is what I'm talking about right now. Freeing yourself from the negative impact of other people's behaviors. And that negative impact The negative emotional impact of other people's behaviors is happening within you because you're allowing it. Bob Proctor used to say all the time, you cannot, so and so cannot hurt your feelings, only you can hurt your feelings. Right? So it's really beautiful. So Samantha, I hope that helps you to lighten the experience that you're having. I would also say that to end a marriage and to do it with love is outside of the norm of the way the world works right now. I have separated from my husband of 17 years. We were together for 17 years, and last February we separated. And it was absolutely a situation that required some grieving, but it has been done so much with love that we love each other unconditionally, and we say that our relationship has not ended, but it has evolved into something different. And I'm super proud of us, and I'm super grateful. We're going to do Christmas in New York this year, all of us together again. And we just sleep in different rooms now, and there's no romantic relationship between us, but we still are co-parents and co-business owners, and I still consider him my best friend in my life. And we were able to do this through love and through growth and through allowing ourselves to elevate. So through the separation, we both grew into people that we were not before. And it's really beautiful. So Samantha, there is so much to be grateful for in the situation that you're going through. And I hope that you see and feel how these messages can support you move into observation, out of judgment, into understanding, and into love. I think would be the most important thing. We're going to be moving into some interviews. After the interviews, I'm going to tell you the last two secrets. After this one interview, I'm going to tell you the last two secrets today. So please don't go anywhere. And you're going to want to listen to Nicole because it's really, really beautiful. We actually have a divorce coach as well as part of our community. She's in the Millionaire Program, Audrey. I don't know if she's on, but you should also follow her as well. She is fantastic, phenomenal, and really uses this material as well. Okay, let's see. Can we bring Nicole on? Is she on? Is her camera on? Where is she? We're gonna figure it out. Do I need to do something, team? Tell me. Can somebody put Audrey's account in the chat box, please, as we get Nicole up here? Maybe I need to find Nicole. Nicole, there you are. Unmute. Nicole, try talking.
Hi.
Okay, now how do I see you?
It says that the camera is disabled.
Okay, host. More. Okay. We're going to figure this out. I can see the camera. Change panelist appearance. No. How do I turn your camera on?
Here I am.
Oh, is it working?
I think so. Can you see me?
I can see you. Yes. Can everybody else see? Okay, I think you guys should be able to see her now. Okay, we are sorting it out, my friend. How are you?
Fantastic. How are you?
I am so good. I'm getting hot. The sun here is like so bright. I'm so grateful for it. I manifested it was raining, and I said, I'm bringing the sunshine, people. So I brought the sunshine to LA. How are you feeling since you've been home from Rise? Nicole was in Mexico with me.
Like, incredible. I've had such a shift since then, and like I've been doing this work for quite a long time, and then I joined your community in April of this year. But it was like after Rise, it was so beautiful and such an honor to be surrounded by other people and to be able to witness their growth too. It's such an intimate experience, and it's life changing to not only go through the change yourself, but to also witness it in others. And it just kind of highlighted a lot of stuff for me. And I was like always worried about being judged by others. And then it was like all of a sudden it was like, I'm still judging me. That's the problem.
It's
Right.
it's those moments, it's the moments of awareness where we're like, oh, I get it. Because I find, Nicole, I never experience judgment anymore. Like very, very rare, like outside judgment. So I think two things happen there where I'm not looking for it. So if it is there, I probably don't even see it. But the biggest thing is whenever I do notice it, it's always because there's something I'm judging myself about. Even like a tiny little thing, it'll boom, I'll notice it outside of me. And I'm like, isn't that interesting? Because our outside world is a reflection of our own consciousness. So how do you feel about the judgment within yourself now? Like, are you giving yourself grace and compassion and love? And
Yes, yes. I've increased my self-love in general, but this was like a whole new level of awareness, a whole new layer of healing, a whole new, just
mm,
like it just kind of like took this veil down, and I was able to see things a little bit more clear, right? And be able to to really step into who I am, like who I've always been. Because that's the thing, like I was judging myself so much. I was like, I gotta be this person and I gotta become this and I gotta fix this and da 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 and all this stuff. And then I realized, like, holy crap, I'm pretty darn awesome, right? Already. And I mean, that's wonderful. I want to be the best of myself, but it's nothing I need to change or fix. Like, I'm awesome.
I
You're
know.
awesome. We're all awesome, right?
Well,
Like,
and this is the thing, right? Is that in my book, The Best of Yourself, there's two different models. I refer to it as like the old growth model. So the way in which I, first started to study personal growth and development was that you're a problem and there's a way to fix the problem. That's you. So like you're flawed, you don't work out, you don't make enough money, your business isn't growing, you're unhealthy, you got to change, you got to become a better version of you and be different and go from there. And so you're always looking for the results that you're better now from outside of you. You're waiting for the world to tell you you're good now to then be good. And I don't like that model. I don't want to put anybody through that ever again, because the model that I use now is I'm loving myself to find the best of myself. So I'm going to stop trying to be different right now. I'm going to stop trying to see my flaws. I'm going to see that I'm amazing and incredible and beautiful and powerful and strong now, that I'm loved now. And as soon as I did that, like oh my gosh, I hated my body my whole entire life, Nicole. And I know you resonate with this because we chatted at Rise, but like I hated my body my whole entire life because I thought that it was bad, that it was wrong, because I was plus size or overweight or fat. That word, man, even hearing that word, it still triggers me because it was a label. It was a label that was put on me. But I thought it was bad. I thought it was wrong. I thought it was a flaw. And so my whole life was spent trying to fix this problem. So when I decided, you know what? I'm fat and I'm amazing. Like I'm plus size and I'm worthy. I am overweight and I'm healthy and I love myself. That's when the success came, you guys. Like it didn't come until then. So I think that's a beautiful thing to support. But I'm going to take you back a little bit. When you first joined our community, you'd been studying this for a little while. What made you jump in to study it here with us at Diamond Academy? What made you keep going?
well, it's the feeling. right? Like it's the feeling that you get. I'm very open and aware of other people's energies, and it just felt like home. And so I was like, you know, it's hard not to have growth when you see everything that's happening here, and just
Oh,
the
yeah.
amount of love and compassion, and it's such a safe and loving community that I was like, well, it was kind of like I'd be stupid not to. That's kind of how I felt a little
Uh,
bit. So
can I quote you? Can I quote you on that?
yes, you may.
I think that's the best I've ever heard. I'd be stupid not to.
Yeah.
I love that. No, that's what I love so much about our community too, Nicole, is that we've created this safe space and it's safe for everyone. I know we're predominantly women here, but when men do come into our energy, I think we have about 9 men right now in our community. And so when we do have men come into our community, we just wrap ourselves around them and nurture them, and they love it. They love this beautiful energy. See, there's Tommy. I don't know if Robert is on. I don't know if Michael's on. But oh, Delroy, so it's not just for women. We predominantly are, but when men do come in, it's just such a beautiful experience for them. And we give them permission to be vulnerable, which I think is really, really beautiful. So since you've come into our community, I know you were at Rise, but what would you say are the biggest shifts that you've experienced, Nicole?
Oh my gosh. Okay. So there's lots of things. And I think it's very interesting that you were speaking so much about love today, because that is where my hugest shift is, and it is the love for myself.
Mm,
You know, it it just catapulted to like beyond, right? Like I have such a level of awareness and acceptance of myself, and
mm,
it allows me, if I love and accept myself, I can then love and accept others, right? Because, like you said, you remove that judgment, right? And they don't know what they don't know,
yeah.
right? And it doesn't mean that their behavior is necessarily okay, or something that you would desire. So perhaps you prefer to be treated differently, and
Mm,
that is completely okay. But I used to stay in certain situations and keep putting up with it because I expected them to be different. I was always hurt and angry when they weren't,
mm.
when
Wow.
just being who they were.
Yep. Yep.
And I was accepting it, therefore perpetuating it, and not
Oh,
realizing that I could have better and do better and be better and feel better and all the things. So, anyways, there was a point to this because my boyfriend and I have been together for 6 years, and he is amazing and incredible. And the level of love that we have between us now is like astronomical. Like he never used to say, I love you. He would show it to me, right, in his actions, because he's the way he said it, he didn't want to say, I love you just for the sake of saying it, right?
mm,
Because people get into that habit of just being like, I love you. Like his ex used to say, I love you, and then go out and like cheat on him, right? Like, so it was pretty hollow,
mm,
right? So he was like, I don't say it until I really mean it, right? Like until, because it's like, it's not something you should just throw around. That's his belief. I mean, I love everybody and I'm super like, I love this, I love that. But the more that I loved me and accepted and loved myself, the more it like had this ripple effect on him. And it
oh,
was like he fell more in love with me. And now he says it to me all the time, right? But it's because I love me so much that he's like, yeah, I love you too, right? Like, you're
yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
And it's just created this whole new, I don't know. It's beyond words. Like I can't even explain it. And we're going to get married. We haven't gotten engaged yet, but I did get a Mayan diamond while we were in Mexico. It's one that changes colors.
Oh my
And
God.
he said you can wear it on that finger until we replace it. So, with the real deal. So anyways, it's just like the ripple effect that the work that you do has on others is incredible. And he doesn't
Mm.
understand this work necessarily. He's very sensitive and he would be really good at it, but he's very resistant. And
Yep.
so he's like, Nicole, I don't always get what you're doing. He's like, but I'm so proud of you. And he's like, and you inspire me to be better too. So I was like, oh, like it's beautiful. So doing this work, like it's not just for you, it's like I'm thinking about my children and the effect that I'm going to have on them and their friends and my grandkids, right? And then the future generations. So it's
Oh.
just, for me, it's huge.
It is. It's the ripple effect, Nicole. And that's the part of this work. Like when I first started studying this material, because when much of your life is geared towards others, like you're a mother, you are a sister, you're a friend, you have a job, you have a career, you have all these things to do and people to take care of. And so deciding to go within and to take away some of that focus of others and put it onto myself, at first it felt kind of selfish. It was like, oh, should I do this? But
Mm.
when you start to see how much people around you start to change, you are like, oh, I get it now. That 30 minutes a day on me is having everybody else around me happier, more relaxed, calmer, starting to get more of what they want, et cetera, et cetera. It just allows you to take
Yeah.
more time to yourself. And then I tell people now, everywhere I go, oh, it's time for you to go within. Spend some time alone, lock yourself up in a room, ask for help, go and do the work. Your family will thank you later. And they always do. They always do. Even if they don't understand it, they're not in the material, they don't know what's happening. They're always like, oh my God, you're different. I don't know what's happening, but I just love it. So that's one of the things I hear all the time. So what's next for you, Nicole? Tell me.
Well, seeing as I have sort of it was like I said, the veil came down. And then I'm like, oh, wait a second, right? So I've been reevaluating some of the things that I want to do because, somebody told you you should be a nurse, that you would be good at it. It would be a good job, right? So you kind of like follow what other people think you would be good at, right? So now I'm really like, I'm empowered, right? I'm like, oh my God, I can do whatever the F I want to. So I'm just kind of having fun and exploring myself in a new way. I'm answering questions like that we have already gone through in a different way. And
Yeah.
I'm just, yeah, like, what do I want? Right? Not what do they think, and all this kind of stuff. Like, I was going down a certain path and then I was feeling all this resistance. I was like, why? Why does it feel so ugh? Right? And it's
Yeah.
because it wasn't
Heavy.
right.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. So, I'm like kind of doing a little bit of a curve, but I'm so happy and I'm so excited because I realize like I'm good. I'm awesome. I'm safe. I can decide what it is that I
There's
want.
no there's no fear there. There's no
No,
worry there. Like I don't feel any like any sense in your energy. Like I don't know. It's like I don't know what's next, but I'm happy with whatever it is that's going to be next. Like, and you can create anything you want.
yeah. I'm
You know,
so excited. And I mean, I've like realized my power. I manifested a pink beetle, right? Like through doing exactly what you said, right?
yep. Yep.
I picked it. I felt I visualized myself even my daughter was like, one day she saw me smiling. I'm like off in my world and I'm like, just like all happy. She's like, what are you doing? She's like, why are you smiling? I'm like, I'm imagining myself in my pink beetle. And she was like, oh, okay. And then sure enough, like this is not something you see in Nova Scotia, a pink beetle with lashes. And that's what I wanted. And
The car
I
has
said,
lashes?
oh
Oh my gosh, I love that.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. So I manifested exactly that. And it was like I had tried to kind of like open myself and look at other beetle cars that I could potentially change the color, but it wasn't easy. Like things didn't go the right way because it wasn't the right beetle for me. Right.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden the perfect beetle showed up. So
This is what I always say, that I'm good in the in between. So for me, just I'm sitting here and I'm loving my life and I'm in a state of gratitude and I'm in a state of joy. And when the pink beetle shows up, I'm here for it to get it. You know, that's exactly how I sit. So it sounds like you were in that way. So for anybody that's watching today, Nicole, that's listening to your story, what would you say to them if they're still in a state of this like fear or worry? What would you say you did to move you into such a beautiful state of love? And it sounds like you're in a beautiful state of faith and knowing as well. What would you say to them?
just to, really let go of the outside noise, like really look at yourself within. Is this something you desire? Do you desire growth? Right? And not just that, but you are worthy of it. Right? Like that was one of the things when I first started was I was, it was a little rocky. And I mean, when you do this inner work, it's not always easy, right? It's not easy to look within and look at the dark spaces that you've kind of like put aside, right? So, just to realize that you are worthy of putting in the work, right?
Yes.
Mentioned that in one of your trainings, you said that you felt unworthy of like, being better, or like trying to improve yourself, right? And that was a huge realization for me. It was like, holy crap, I didn't realize that. I just didn't even think I was worthy of it.
I
So you
know. I know.
of
Yeah.
this.
Oh my gosh, Nicole, I love it. And then for those of you that are in Millionaire, you can attest to this because you've seen the videos. But the Millionaire program videos, I'm a completely different woman in those videos than I am today. And we're not re-recording them. We're not redoing it. And the reason we're not is because I think it is so important for everybody going through this material to see just the growth that happened internally with me that has reflected now in the external. And so when you go through the lessons and you watch the videos, you actually get to witness with your own eyes and ears exactly how much I have shifted. Same principles, same information, just a completely different woman watching them. There's actually like original videos from 2020 or 2021, and then there's the ones we professionally recorded in 2022. So it's brilliant. And then also for the Millionaire students too, they just sent me yesterday the new Millionaire workbook to approve. So it's been rebranded. 4 new lessons have been added to it. It's brilliant. So it's perfect timing for anybody that's going to decide that they want to join us. But I'll talk more about that tomorrow. Nicole, I'm so grateful for you. It was an absolute pleasure to meet you, to spend time with you in Mexico, to get to know you, to feel your heart, to feel your soul. And I witnessed an unfolding over those 3 days of you, from the day that you first got there and when we first met to who you were when you left. You just opened up and the expression and the shift was so beautiful. So I commend you for doing the work, for choosing you, for growing. And I just love the space you're in right now. It's really inspiring. And you did that. You did that for yourself. So I appreciate you and I'm so grateful and thank you.
Thank you. I'm so grateful for you. I love
Oh my
that
gosh.
applause.
I know, isn't that beautiful? Jen's giving us all the applause. I love it. Thank you, Jen. Appreciate you, girl. Nicole, you're so beautiful. You're such a beautiful light. And what's your cat's name?
Oh, this is Poppy.
Poppy. And
Yeah.
did you name your pink beetle?
Yeah, her name is Stella.
Oh, Stella and Poppy. I love
Yeah.
it. Well, I'm manifesting that maybe I will be attending a wedding in the
Oh,
future. I would
yeah.
love that. I would love
We're
that.
going to and having it on the island.
Are
And
you? Oh,
yeah,
beautiful.
yeah. So you'll be
Beautiful.
there. Yeah.
How beautiful. I got the beautiful opportunity to attend. I was so honored to be invited to attend Adele's wedding. I don't know if Adele is on today, part of our community as well. And it was beautiful. I was at the Butterfly Conservatory. So I was just surrounded by beautiful butterflies. And the butterflies are a representation. Butterflies are my spirit sign. They're a representation of transformation, of growth, of expansion. And it was just absolutely beautiful and brilliant. I'm manifesting that I'll be at your next retreat. Allison, love it. You look like Adele. Well, Adele, my friend Adele, or are you talking about like the singer Adele? That is something that I have been getting a lot lately. I don't know where this is coming from, but a lot of people comment in my stories saying I look like Adele, the singer. Yes, I've gotten that before. I say she looks like Kathleen. Anyways, let's talk about these next two secrets because they build upon one another in such a beautiful, beautiful way. So, secret number 5 was love is all there is. So we move out of fear and into love, and it works every single time. So the next thing, this is important and pivotal, and I could teach on this for probably 4 days straight. But it is not about what you do, but about who you are. So consciousness is all there is. Consciousness is everything, 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 right? And so you cannot take an action without a corresponding consciousness. So there are a lot of people out here that want to teach you how to do something and how to do something this way. Take this strategy, take this course, and I will teach you how to do this. And there is a place for learning how to do something, absolutely. Increasing our skill sets, our understanding, our knowledge, practicing a skill, yes, it is important. But I want to remind you that there is never going to be an action that is not taken without a corresponding consciousness. Do you guys see the reflection on the pool, on the wall, moving above my head and then over here? Wow, that's beautiful. And then you can actually see the Los Angeles downtown skyline in the window in behind me as well. Like, this is so interesting how all these things show up. This is really cool. And I actually have a video that Jennifer Underwood took of me in Canmore that has the green energy again, the green light in it again. Remember the green Archangel Raphael when I was in Mexico, when I was in Bahamas? Yeah. Anyways, like, there is so much spirit around, there's so much God around, there's so much love around. It's overwhelming to even think about it sometimes. But this is the state that you really, really want to be in, because this is love. So I want to say that it is not about what you do, but it is about who you are. So if we think about it this way, every action that we take in life, so launching the business, going on the trip, going live on Instagram, posting to your social media, whatever that action is, going into work every single day, if you're a nurse, if you're a real estate agent, if you're a marketing pro, going into work every day and doing the work that you do is done in a certain consciousness. It is done in a certain perspective and viewpoint of who you are. And so what that means is consciousness is everything that you believe and consent to be true. All of your values, your personal beliefs. It is everything that makes up who you think you are, who you think the world is, what you think the world is, what you think of other people, everything. So when you take an action, you're taking action in an identity or a self-concept, in a consciousness. So when I started studying this material in September of 2019, I believed I was who I believed I was, and that was all there was. And I didn't think I could change it. So I went and got another degree. I went and got another degree. Then I got a master's degree. Then I got a certification. Then I got another certification to help me with my job. So I piled on all the certifications, all the skill sets, all the knowledge to help me do my job better, hopefully get a promotion. Hopefully one day I'll become a VP or a CEO of a health institution. Who knows? Maybe if I take this additional course, I'll make that extra 50 cents an hour. So I was seeking outside of me to give me the information, the knowledge, the things to show me what to do to achieve more. So I have always been a driven woman. Okay, I'm not ashamed of it anymore. I'm very proud of it. I am a driven woman and I go after what I want. Persistently and relentlessly. I will never give up. Okay, this is a belief I have about myself now. And I feel it to my core. And if you are that way, then affirm it. Say, I am driven as well, Kathleen. Affirm it into the chat and into the comments. Anywhere, just affirm it. But I had to go within and change my consciousness to change the way my outside world was. So let me give you an example of this, right? So what I'm talking about. So I was in network marketing for 2.5 years, and I built a team of over 500 people, and I was selling some product and I was doing pretty good at it. And I would say that I was amongst the top in my team for doing that because I'm a driven woman and I'm motivated, you know, and I do things. But I was very much in the masculine energy of doing. Tell me what to do and I will do it. Tell me what to say. Tell me how many messages to send. Tell me how many people to reach out to. Tell me how to post on social media. I took all the courses to learn how to do all those things, and I would go and I would do it. So then I did it in the energy and in the belief and in the identity of who I believed I was in that moment. And so it achieved a certain level of results, but I wanted to quantum leap. Is the quantum leap, is the collapsing of time going to happen in taking another course on how to just post to social media better? Is the quantum leap going to happen in learning how to go live a little bit better or how to convert or taking a sales training? No, it's not. How do I know? I've experienced it. So I went within and I studied myself and I changed my consciousness instead. So I stopped taking sales trainings and I stopped taking courses on how to grow my social media. And I stopped focusing on strategy and I started focusing on my consciousness instead, on my identity instead. Big shift. Every action you take is taken in an identity. Change the identity, same action, completely different result. Completely different result. So network marketing, I stopped studying how to do my job better and I started studying myself and how I could be better. Magic started to unfold before my eyes. Okay, magic started to unfold before my eyes. So I started to change the identity with which I held about myself. I started to become more confident, more empowered. I started to judge less. I started to love myself more. I started to believe that everything I do works. I started to believe that I could change my beliefs in an instant. I started to believe that I was magnetic, that I was powerful, that I had the secret sauce. All of these things. I started building an idea in my consciousness of who I am. I started to think differently. I started to feel differently, which means I started to vibrate differently. Then when I took action The action was now taken in a higher vibration, higher frequency state that was very magnetic, very empowered, very attractive, and the results were quadrupled. Same action, same strategy, completely different consciousness. So if you want to see small incremental growth, go study strategy. But if you want a quantum leap, if you want a complete and utter transformation, if you want to take your life from here to there quickly, it is through consciousness work, not through strategy work. And anybody that is on here that is a strategy or a business coach, I'm not dogging you, I'm not disrespecting you. What you do is very, very important. But when you do consciousness first, then you add a strategy course after, magical. So there's a place for everything. But the most important thing, you cannot take a strategy without a corresponding consciousness. Kelly's quoting me, and I will say it, and I have a beautiful t-shirt of it now that Mandy made for me. Don't ask me what I did, ask me what I thought. The difference between those that achieve slow and incremental growth and those that quantum leap is in their belief systems. It is in what they believe to be true. And even if you went and you asked them, they will tell you, I suddenly moved into faith. I moved into belief. I started to think that it was possible for me. I changed my identity and self-concept. I started to see myself as a content creator, an influencer, a very powerful manifester, a very powerful coach. It's all in their consciousness that changed their results. Even some of the people that do teach strategy in business should be teaching consciousness work instead. That's my belief, because it's in their consciousness, it's in their assumptions that are changing their clients, but they're not aware enough to maybe know it yet, that it's actually been in their belief systems. So I can teach you strategy. I have over the past 4 years built a $27 million business in online digital sales. Okay. I have built a beautiful brand on social media that has 70,000 followers on one platform, 70,000 on another platform. You know, my YouTube's almost at 9,000. I have done all of that, and I could teach you the steps that I take, but I know in my heart that that is not what led to it. It has led to the assumptions that I have about myself. It is how I make myself a magnet, It's how I visualize. It's how I think. It's how I feel about me that does this every single time. So right now, I am in a quantum leap again. And I feel it and I know it. And I've been focusing on myself and focusing on how I can see myself in an even more elevated state. So elevated state means more love, more joy, more peace, more service, more leadership, seeing myself more empowered, more strength, more bravery, more boldness, seeing myself with more acceptance and understanding and grace. And the more that I step into this version of me, the outside world is literally shifting. And I do this, shifts. Insane amount of registrations come through for this live event, more than we've ever seen before. We break Zoom registration. We're on some weird webinar thing because so many people want to know. Now, do you think that's just the world is suddenly wanting to know? No, it's because I have shifted my consciousness to a place where people are ready to hear the messages that I have to say because I'm ready to deliver them. I'm now at a level of seeing myself where I'm here to help you. And so people start to come. So it is all about you. It is all about how you see you. But back to my network marketing, I want to tell you exactly the difference because your intellectual mind is going to want to know. So in network marketing, I reached out to 10 people a day in my business. That's what I was taught. All the coaches reach out to 10 a day, 10 a day, 10 a day. So I did it every single day. I reached out to 10 people about my business opportunity or my product. It was a habit and I just did it. And I did it in the vibration of who I believed I was in that moment. So the vibration was pretty good. She was a moderately successful woman. She kind of fit in with the rest of everybody. She thought she was a good leader, but, could have been better, kind of this energy. And then I started studying this work and I went, boop, nope. I'm an incredible leader. I am empowered. I am strong. I can lead you. I can help you. I am successful. I am powerful. I got this. I'm the fastest growing recruiter on my team. I'm the number one salesperson on my team. Like, I created these beliefs about myself, still reached out to the 10 people. I didn't change what I said. I didn't write new scripts. I didn't say anything differently. I was different. I saw myself different. I thought different. I felt different. So then I still reached out to those 10 people. Before, I would get 2 to 3 people respond to those 10 messages a day to say, yeah, sure, I'd like to know more. 2 to 3. That's like 20 to 30%. After I'd started doing this work, it went up to 80%, 90%. And then I started writing down. I'm so happy and grateful now that I recruit 1 new team member to my team per day. And I just started to see myself as a woman who did that. Didn't change my strategy, exact same strategy. And I got to the point where I started recruiting a person every single day, like clockwork. This work is powerful. This work is impactful. And no matter how many times people ask me to teach you strategy, I would not do you a service if I taught you strategy alone. It is the consciousness work that is key here. And it's about building an identity of somebody who does, who has, that is, and that knows. I don't know if I'm going to be able to say that again, so just get the transcript. Right? This is the key. So if you want to ascend, if you want to elevate, if you want a quantum leap, if you want to collapse time, it's through consciousness work every single time. And so that's why I stay focused on what I know to be true, what speaks to my soul. And so imagine your ability to support other people if you change your consciousness to one of elevated service and understanding, right? I'm somebody who does, has, is, knows. I'm writing that down. That's brilliant. See how things just like come through without even knowing it? So it's not about what you do, but it's about who you are. So let's move into another example then. When I moved into becoming a coach, I started my journey as a PGI consultant. So what that means is I signed up with Bob Proctor. I took one of his courses first. Then I signed up to become a consultant with him. So I was independently employed. I had my own business, my own company, but I used Bob's course that I took as part of my coaching model, as part of my coaching program, right? So I generated all my own leads, created all my own content, taught it the way I wanted to teach it. It was my business, my company, everything. But what was really, really beautiful about that was when I launched my business, I had studied myself and created this empowered state. So I went into it saying, I am a diamond pin holder successful coach. I'm a multi-millionaire coach. Okay. Never had a coaching client before, never signed anybody up for a high ticket offer, nothing. But I created the identity of a woman, diamond pin holder, multi-millionaire coach. Okay. I never saw myself as a novice. I never saw myself as new. I didn't see myself as learning or growing or in training. I saw myself as the woman who already has, that already did, that already was, already knows. So, Reiki healers, let's send her some throat healing. Thank you, Samantha. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. So the beautiful thing is then when I went into this energy and I launched my coaching business, I went into it with an energy of knowing, and I just did. And so my consciousness was powerful. And I enrolled 9 people into a program in my first month of business. I made $1 million in 7 months. I made $3.3 million in 1 year. I broke records over at Bob's company. People were like, what on earth is she doing? What is happening? I got my silver pin, my gold pin, my diamond pin, just boom, 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 boom within 11 months. Over 300 people joined my coaching programs in 11 months. And people were like, what is happening? Who is this woman? Where does she come from? I didn't know that that's not what everybody was doing. I built a belief that that's just how it was, and I did it. And then I started to find out nobody else was doing this, that what I was doing was outside of the norm. I started seeing that on average, most people were enrolling one client a month, and I'm over here doing 20 and 30, 35, 60, 100 clients in a month. And so what I realized was that it wasn't what I was doing differently, but it was who I was being that was different. I had built a consciousness that was so empowered, so driven, so confident, with so much love and joy and faith that it was literally unstoppable. So when Nicole says it would be stupid not to come into my energy, this is what I mean. This is what she means. Because this is the energy that will take you where you want to go. And when you can come alongside this, I exist as this woman every day now. So this isn't just like an in and out type of thing. I don't just show up and be her. I am her all the time. I take bold, daring action. I go after it. And so to be in this energy and to be around me, it feels a certain kind of way. And it allows you to see what energy will get you to where you want to go. And that's what's so beautiful. So I said that quote on a training with 300 PGI consultants. I said, don't ask me what I did, ask me what I thought. Because it's not in my action. I have had people over the past 4 years literally copy what I do step by step. Exactly. My exact strategies, my exact posts, they make their graphics look the same as my graphics. They've actually named their live events the same thing that my live events have been named. They've literally done exactly what I've done with a different consciousness and have not achieved what I've achieved. So it's not about what you do, it's about who you are. And the beautiful thing is when you build a consciousness that is so empowered, so lit up, everything you do works and any strategy works. I don't do strategies because I should. I do them because I love them and I want to do them and I'm passionate about them. But I believe everything that I do will work. So that's why I always choose to do it in a way that feels good. It feels good. PGI consultants, yeah, Procter Gallagher Institute consultants. So the really beautiful thing is my own growth obviously led me down my own path. And the month that I launched the Millionaire Program and no longer coached somebody else's course, and I really allowed myself to speak through me and to let God speak through me instead of someone else. And I tapped into my strategies, my philosophies that are very, very different to anybody else in this industry. I teach spirituality meets personal growth and development. I teach the feminine and the masculine. I teach you spirit and love and joy. And when I launched the Millionaire Program, it was the biggest month we had to date. We were selling about 60 of the other a month and we sold well over 100 in that month. Not an accident. So when you step into who you are, when you step into what you're passionate about, and the beautiful thing is after Bob passed, he came to me through a medium. And one of the things is I wanted to make Bob proud. And so I continued to sell his program to honor him and to make him proud. And I didn't want to disappoint him. And after he passed in February, and then in October, I was in Florida, and this beautiful woman came up to me and she said, Kathleen, I'm a medium. And I said, oh, who's here? And she said, this man with gray hair and glasses. And he's kind of yelling at me like he has a message for you and you need to hear it. And I was like, okay. And I said, I think that's Bob. And she said, yes, it is. That's it. And she said, he said, Kathleen, that you need to teach this material in your way. In your way. You need to teach it in the way that people are resonating for today, in the feminine. Feminine doesn't mean female. We're not talking gender. We're talking about energetics. So in the femininity is in the ease and the flow and in the love and in the joy and in the happiness, in the beauty, in the allowing, in the receiving, in the remembering, in the meditation, in the visualization, in the journaling, in the growth, in the healing. This is the feminine. And then we pair it with the masculine. So we're going to do, guys, we're not going to sit on a couch like a couch potato and not do anything. We're going to do, but we're going to get into the feminine energy first, and then we are going to take action and we're going to move in that energy. So the last secret, and this one is really big because I have observed myself over the past 4 years, and I have observed others, and I have observed what works and what doesn't work. And there are people that come into this material, into this energy, and they've been studying this for a long time. And then they come over here and something is different and something clicks. They're different. They're ready. They're at an elevated place. They're ready to do this. They're ready to grow. They're ready to expand. And so what happens? They come into this energy and they just transform. Absolutely transform. Quantum leap, rise to a new level. Send me messages with tears of joy. I got a message from Tori. I know she's on and she's going to love that I'm talking about her again because I just love her. She sent me a message and I need to like save it in some way, because the awareness that she had yesterday when I was speaking, it took her to a completely different level of awareness and understanding. And I know she's up in heaven on a cloud right now, just like changed her whole life because she was open to hear it. She was ready to hear it. That's the difference here. That's the difference here, is we will elevate you and you will rise. So any belief that you've done it before and it hasn't worked before, what's this one going to work? That comes from fear. That does not come from love. You are here because you asked to be here. Something within you called us in. I do not come to people's lives by accident or by coincidence. I am called in. I have been called in by you. Why? Just ask yourself that. But the final secret, it is absolutely essential that you be brave. You must be brave. Bravery is something that will help you for the rest of your life. There is so many people that are living in so much fear, so much hesitation, so much apprehension. Because of that fear, because of that apprehension, they literally sit and watch and don't be an active participant in changing the world. There's this phenomenon that I learned when I was in psychology, where in a really, really busy street, you will see a woman scream for help. And everybody else thinks that everybody else is going to help her, so nobody helps. And so she screams for help at the top of her lungs, and nobody ever comes running, because everybody else thinks that everybody else is going to help. And everybody else is too worried about if they're going to get hurt. Can they really help her? Are they worthy of helping her? Are they good enough to help her? There's somebody else better out there that can help her, so I'm not going to help her. And so what we have is we have a world full of people that nobody thinks they can make an impact, so nobody does. We're not doing that anymore. We are here to make a difference. We are here to make an impact. We are called to serve, to help. So it is going to require that you be brave. It is going to require that you have courage. It is going to require that you be bold, that you be daring, and that you take risks. I am not someone that's going to sit here and watch. I am in there and I'm going to help you and I'm going to support you and I'm going to be alongside you. This is how we change the world, one consciousness at a time. It is about shifting the collective consciousness. We need more people with voices that are willing to speak about the collective consciousness. We need people that are here to serve, to love, and to lead. This is what we do here. We lead, love, and serve. And we do it with courage. We do it with bravery. We do it boldly. So we're not going to sit and watch. Sitting and watching is an old version of you. It is about being bold. I am brave, Lori. I am so brave. It is so brave to go after your dreams. It is so brave to post on social media your goals, your wishes, your aspirations. It is so brave to get on there and say, you know what, I can help you and I know I can. It is so brave to go again and again and again, to try one more time, to do it one more time. That is brave. Can you be brave like this? I will always go after what I want. I will never shy away from it. Even when it feels like the thing doesn't want me back, I will still go after it and want it and have it one day. But the beautiful thing is, is the things that we value stay in our lives, and the things that we do not value will go away. So if you don't value your impact, if you don't value yourself, if you don't value money, if you don't value your business, it will not value you back. So it is so important that you step into and be brave. So put I am brave, please, in the YouTube chat, in the Zoom chat. Write it down on your piece of paper, I am brave. And what would it feel like to truly believe that? You know what? I am brave. See how I said that differently? I am brave, I am brave, I am brave. I am brave. Completely different. And when you move with bravery, guess what's going to happen in your life? It will reward you. It will absolutely reward you. So the 7 secrets, you want me to recap them? I'm going to recap them because I wrote them down this time. Life is meant to be happy. Be. You will not become what you are not first conscious of being. So remember, when I talked about it's not what you do, but it's not what you do, but who you are. This is conscious of being. Are you conscious of being brave? So in this moment, you all just said, I am brave. You are aware of your bravery right now. But are you going to hold that awareness? Are you going to hold that consciousness? Kathleen for president. Katie. That made me laugh. Okay. You will not become what you are not first conscious of being. You create with God because you are of God. Number 3. Number 4. You can either create life or react to it. Number 5. Love is all there is. Love is all there is. Thank you for the Reiki healing. My throat's feeling so much better. Number 6, it's not about what you do, but who you are. And number 7, be brave. Be brave. So I want you to take brave action in this moment. Please, right now, reach out to my team if you haven't. One of the most common things that I get in my inbox is people messaging me saying, you know what, Deborah's reached out to me a couple times, but I've never taken her up on the offer. Take her up on the offer. If anybody's typing it out, please put it in the chat for anybody if they're looking for it. So it's important to take a brave step. What can you do today that is brave? So the bravery is maybe answering the questions that you avoided yesterday in the homework. The bravery might be to answer the questions today in the homework. The bravery might be reaching out to my team, sending me a message. The bravery might be posting to Instagram, going live on Instagram. The bravery might be going within and asking yourself the tough questions. But take bold action today and be brave. That is my challenge for you. Tomorrow is our VIP day. Beautiful Saturday morning. I will have my matcha on hand. I will be comfy and ready to answer your questions. So please submit your questions. Please do the homework. Tag me on social media if you feel inspired. Kathleen Cameron Manifests. Also, be on time tomorrow because I have a lot to go over. We've got 2 incredible freaking interviews tomorrow, guys. Like, I don't know how these conversations get better every single time, but the growth and the expansion of people in our community is life-changing. For you to hear their story will change your life as they're changing theirs. So the homework is day 2. Oh, you want me to read it? Okay, I can do that. I can do it. I just got to find it in my team's chat. It's a document, the secret workbook. Here we go. Look at me. I'm finding it. Okay. So day 2. Day 2. Identify one key goal you want to focus on during the event. Write down the specific steps you can take to move closer to achieving it. How can you act in bravery? And explore any limiting beliefs or negative thoughts that are hindering your progress. Write them down, then challenge each belief with a positive affirmation. This is so good. So if you can't be brave, why not? If you haven't been bold, why not? If you haven't made the decision, why not? If you haven't gone after it, if you haven't started the business, why not? These are the questions to ask yourself. What are you afraid of? What am I worried about? What limits me? Huge, huge awareness in asking yourself these questions. So we will be on tomorrow. We are going to talk about a Q&A. We're going to do the 2 interviews, and then I'm going to talk about some enrollment things and some exciting new stuff that we have going on within Diamond Academy that you do not want to miss. Very exciting. And I'll give you a sneak peek of the new Millionaire Workbook tomorrow too. So you can see what it looks like, and the 4 new lessons that are in Millionaire. They are phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. The homework and the workbook has been emailed out to you. It's in the Manifested with Kathleen Cameron Facebook group. Talk to your manifestation mentor. They can get it for you. It's also being put right here into the chat box. Lots of different places, but we will get it to you. So no rush, no worries. I want to end today by saying that I am grateful. I'm grateful for all of you for holding space. I'm grateful for the grace that you're giving us through some of the technical things that are happening. And I'm really grateful for every single one of you for choosing your growth, to elevate, to ascend, to get uncomfortable, and to do things that are abnormal to what you would normally do. And I am grateful for every single person that is choosing themselves, and every person that is about to join us in our community when we talk tomorrow, because there is no reason for you not to. And in Nicole's words, you would be stupid not to. Anyways, love you all so much. We're going to end with a song. We always do. I wanted to choose a song today that allowed you to tap into the greatness that's there. So we are going to listen to The Greatest by Sia and Kendrick Lamar. The Greatest. Allow yourself to feel the words. Allow yourself to feel the feeling of what if you believed that you were your greatest, grandest, best of yourself version today. What would that be like? If you are on the YouTube live stream, we'll have to disconnect it. We don't have the rights to the song to be able to play it, but you can go onto your Spotify and put The Greatest by Sia and join us through you listening through your own speakers, because we're all in this energy together. I love you guys so much. I appreciate you so much. And I can't